So in this variation of what's known as the SLR, straight leg raise, I'm going to be tracing a J while I do it. Step one though before we do it is we have to get a really nice quad contraction. So what we're going to do, instead of keeping the toes up, I'm going to let the hip turn out a little bit into external rotation. And now I'm going to really squeeze my quad, this front muscle right here. I'm going to squeeze the heck out of it as best as I can. I'm going to try to move my kneecap up. I want to think about pushing my knee down while lifting my heel off the ground. You can see that as my knee goes down, my heel comes up at the same time. I'm going to really strive to get as much of that extension as I can. Once I get a nice squeeze, I'm going to keep it there as tight, 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 lift up, and then I'm going to do a little J, go in, there's the hook, go back up, and down. Again, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go up, toes are pointed up, as you can tell, they're not pointed down. I'm going to keep the toes pointed up, and the hip needs to be out into this externally rotated position, squeezing, and I'm going to trace a J just like that, and relax.
So with this exercise, we gotta get a band set up above our knees. We're gonna be working both sides, but I'm gonna demonstrate it standing on the left side. So get set up in front of a wall where basically you can have your whatever leg that you wanna get on the wall. Basically be on the front end of your foot, on your toes. You don't have to have your foot flat. And now create tension on the band. Make sure that we have good alignment on the leg that we're standing on. The knee is bent, the hip is bent. The shin is relatively vertical, not really down in this position with the knee over the toe. Being here, this leg isn't gonna move, but we're gonna rotate that right knee out as far as we can. Really feeling both hips working, but especially the right one to get the right leg moving. You're gonna feel both hips really burning with this exercise, regardless of what leg you're standing on. But the leg that you're standing on is gonna be a little bit more balanced. This is a tibial rotation exercise. We're focused on rotating our shin bone back and forth as we straighten and as we bend our knee. This is really good for kneecap health as well as knee health in general. So when I start here in this position with my knee bent, we're gonna rotate out to the side first. So I'm going to drive the motion with my foot and my ankle. That's gonna help with rotating my shin bone out to the side. I'm gonna keep that position as I straighten my knee as far as I can. Then I'm going to bend. And now I'm just gonna repeat the same process, but to the other direction. So drive my foot and ankle in, point my toes that way, get my shin bone to rotate in. Keep this position as I straighten my knee. And now I'm just going to repeat this movement. Really focus on maintaining the position of your shin and your foot and your ankle as you completely straighten and bend your knee before you move on to the next motion. These are side steps in place. So in order to begin the exercise, you gotta get a band set up above your knees. Start with your feet about shoulder width apart. Lower down into a mini squat position. Now you're gonna shift all your weight to one side. So I'm gonna demonstrate on the left. This is gonna be the working leg for the most part. Now while keeping all my weight on this leg, I'm gonna reach and tap as far as I can out to the side and then slowly come back to starting position and repeat. I'm just trying to tap an eggshell. That makes me keep all my weight on this side. I don't want to see this, so don't just shift your weight to the right leg. Otherwise, now you're not working this leg. So you have to be constantly working this leg by keeping all your weight centered to the left. Tap directly out to the side. Think 3 o'clock in this example. I'm starting to feel outside of my hips on both sides working. I also feel all the muscles in my left leg working at this point. And again, just tap an eggshell, don't break it.
For this exercise, we're gonna mobilize or move the patella, which is the kneecap here. So you can see how I'm holding it with my fingers on both sides, and then I'm slowly moving it from side to side. And I'm holding at the end for a couple seconds, getting a little stretch, and then coming back, and then moving it the other way. And I'm getting a stretch the opposite direction now. And then I'm going back and forth. So this is side to side. but the kneecap also moves up and down. So now we're gonna focus on going down, which my thumbs are gonna help with pushing the kneecap down towards my feet. And then now my fingers, my pointer fingers are gonna help mobilize the kneecap up towards my midline here. I'm gonna go back and forth here. So again, you can move it in all 4 motions, side to side. Get a stretch on each direction. And then also up and down. Go very slow and make sure to avoid keeping the quad contracted. That's the muscle here. So if this stiffens up, you can see how this doesn't move. My kneecap is not gonna move much. And if my knee stays bent, it won't move either. So really the 2 big things is making sure the knee stays straight and the quad stays relaxed. And that'll allow you to move and mobilize this kneecap as best as possible.